What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Parrot Press and another Sorare video. And today we are talking about what the hell have I been doing for the last 3 months? Because there's definitely been times where I've sat there and thought, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What the hell am I doing? The last video that I kind of put out when I was talking about where I am in my gallery was a video where I said that I'm going all in on Champ, and that hasn't changed. But what I want to talk about today is my plan between now and the end of the season, and also probably prepping a little bit for next season. And I'm going to take you through some of the stuff that I've done in the last 3 months, and then we can get to that part at the end of it when I'm talking about some of the players that I brought in. You'll probably see a pattern and you'll probably see where I'm going. And I think that is, at the moment, I think that's the way that I'm going. But anyway, in the video that I uploaded a couple of days ago, or if not today, I don't know when I'm uploading this video, but I said that I needed to get rid of the limited stuff. So I just want to be transparent with what went on. I sold Jorgensen. Odegaard went as well for a little bit of dough. Lewis Hall went. You know, the Basil Bot bought these off me for 30 odd quid, and Anthony Gordon and Andy Robertson at the time. And you can see now the cash and averages obviously plummeted. Excuse me. And then we've got Bruno that went. We've got Callum Hudson-Odoi that went as well. I just botted a load of these out. Dean Henderson went. Eze went. You know, another batch of people went here, the Fulham guys, etc. And when you look at this now in terms of the cash that I got back for these guys, you could probably say it was a good time to sell, because I probably made money if I was to try and sell them today. Obviously, they're going to be a lot less because we are far away in the season. But getting this kind of money into my account made me go out there and buy some of the rare pieces. You know, exactly what I said before in the previous video, that I made some mistakes at limited. I want to be playing at rare level. I wanted to be playing at champ in season. So I went out there, and this is just one more transaction as well, getting rid of those guys again to another bot. But I went out there and I bought Marquinhos. And since I bought him, so this was January 9th as well, so this is a couple of months ago. But since I've bought him, he's been on a big heater for me, bringing in some really good, nice green scores. And I haven't got it up here, and it'll probably take too much time faffing around to work it out. But he has won me some money back as well. So the 54 quid that I paid for him, he has 100% run that back in terms of being in winning lineups as well. So I was missing some top defenders, so I went out there and bought Marquinhos. Then I went out there and bought Di Lorenzo. Now, I can, spoiler alert, like, he's already, as you can see there, under contract by another manager. I did go and sell him. When I bought him, if you look at this, obviously this is classic. When I bought him, he had these green scores, and then obviously since then, he was just tailing off. And I wanted the money and to reinvest in other people anyway. But at that specific time, I did buy Di Lorenzo. Then we move on. I bought Kerr. I don't know how to say his name, to be honest with you, but they're following the same kind of theme that I mentioned back again 3-4 months ago in a video around the French league and the players that I can use for there and get for a budget. But this guy is really capable of good green scores, you know, high green scores as well. So if I was looking at the French league for some of the top defenders, Marquinhos, Kerr, if that's how you say his name, just call him Tilo, I think. They kind of come into the gallery and done some business for me. Sticking in the French league, Moses Simon, you'll see here again, green scores, right? He takes all of their set pieces. He's been very decent from an AA standpoint, from a forward. If you've been following the channel for a long time, you know that I'm high on AA forwards, and I like that set piece taker as well. So he come in for a 30 quid or whatever it was. Then I picked up a Teji, you know, a bit of a legend in the Sorare stuff, but again, takes set pieces, does the business. Look how many green scores there are there. Now, they are probably going to get relegated this season. I'll be interested to see what goes on with him. But for 15 quid or whatever, I think that, again, he's already been a part of a team that's won some money back for me. So he's still in the gallery. I then picked up Majeki, the Monaco goalkeeper. So getting a little bit more onto, I suppose, my strategy as to what I'm doing for the end of the season and sort of moving into next is I am focusing on the French league because I want to be playing champions. I don't want to be spread thin. I don't want to be having a few people in the Italian league, a few people in the French league, a few people in the Prem, etc. I kind of want to structure it so that I've got maybe 80% of one league, so that when they're playing in the midweeks and that sort of stuff, I can obviously utilize them a little bit more. And the teams that I've kind of picked out here, and I'm just going to go into the French Ligue 1. The teams that I've picked out are Monaco, Nice, and Marseille. I've got Marquinhos, as I've already said about PSG. Whether I pick up any more PSG cards is going to be, I don't know. I've looked at Vitinha before in terms of like a classic card, pairing him in like with a 4-team stack of like an in-season thing. I've also looked at Dembele from a forward, but these are the 3 teams that I want to look at because, you know, just to finish this off actually. So Majeki come in, Malou come in because he was underpriced. Klaus come in from Nice as well. You look at Guri there, who's come in, who plays for Marseille. You look at Rulli, who I bought today as well, and that kind of brings you up. Oh, and the backup for Monaco as well. So that brings you up to speed with where I'm in the gallery. But I mentioned in my previous video the way that I kind of want to play this is those 3 teams beat a lot of people. Right, let's take Marseille. From a stack standpoint, they beat a lot of people. So look at his recent scores when he's popped off. So we'll look at that game, we'll look at this one, we'll look at that one, and we'll even look at this one as well, right? So 4 games out of the last 6 or so. Now, if I had Rulli, if I had Ballardi, Guri, maybe a Højbjerg. I've got a Højbjerg, so he would have been in that lineup as well, and maybe a Rabiot or Greenwood in there as well, right? That's a really good stack. So imagine if I had Rulli, if I had the defender, if I had Guri, and I had Højbjerg, and then I had him with a Bruno Fernandes as well. That's the kind of thing that I want to be doing. I want to pick up well, I've already got Bruno, but like a Bruno, maybe a Kimmich, and maybe another big hitter, and then pair them with these teams. Because you look at the other teams for the other games for Marseille. All right, goalkeeper didn't have a great game. Defenders still did. Højbjerg did. Rabiot did. Guri did. All of a sudden, you've got that base again. Looking at this one, you've got Benacer as well. You've got the defender again popping up. We've got Guri popping up. We've got Højbjerg popping up with the AA, etc. So you look at those, and then if I just go back to prove my point a little bit more, if then I look at, let's look at Nice, for example, and look at there, you could probably just go by formations, right? It's an easier way of doing it. So in here, Bolka, clean sheet. You've got Klaus there, who I own with 100. You've got the forwards popping off and scoring as well. Again, if you put in like a big hitter in there, because I think that Nice are missing that midfielder that pops off like week in and week out. That's the way that I want to play it, is a differential, because I don't want the full collections. You know, I want like the 8 or 9 that score well, or maybe like the 7 or 8 that score well, and go from there. You look at Nice's here, like this is a banging week for them. You've got goal scorers, assists. I mean, you've got Gusson there, who's actually just got an 87 as a forward with AA. And the reason why I've picked these teams as well is because they play in a weaker league. So in any given game week, if I've got 3 D1 lineups, if I've got 2 D1 lineups, and I'm in Division 3 for the third team or whatever it may be, I can rotate these, and I know that, you know, Monaco might be playing Lille, Nice might be playing Lyon, but Marseille might be playing, but someone in the bottom 3, right, Reims or something like that. So I can always kind of put the 4-man stack, or I could always 5-man stack it as well, but put them in a D1, because these 3 teams will also be playing in Europe, no doubt. So it gives me utility there. And as I said, plays in a weakened league. So it's only against PSG, really, which they're kind of competing against. You know, these 4 teams. Maybe Lyon comes into their own a little bit more next year. But that's the kind of... That's the direction of travel that I'm going in, is picking these pieces up. So you can see here from my recent purchases, is that one's crafted, the Monaco backup. I've got the Monaco number 1. Now, it'd be interesting to see what goes on this weekend, because there has been some talk around them switching actually. But again, it's Monaco based along with the Tilo defender. So I'm starting to build that a little bit. Then we've got Rulli in there. We've got Guri. I've already got Højbjerg. So I'm starting to build that Marseille team a little bit. I've got Klaus in there. I haven't got anybody else from these, but Bolka is kind of on my list as well. And then as we get a Marquinhos can come in as a one-off. You know, maybe I have the knee stack and then Marquinhos comes in, who's going to obviously play well. Now, I'm going to have to make a decision with this guy though, because Milinkovic-Savic he's just one of the best goalkeepers on Sorare in my opinion. His AA is insane. He saves a lot of penalties. He gets clean sheets. Torino at home are really, really good. So in order to sell him, in order for me to buy Bolka, unless I obviously win some dough in the next couple of weeks and stuff, I would have to sell Milinkovic-Savic to focus on those 3 areas, because I don't want to be pumping in more money at the moment, and I want to win as much as I possibly can, obviously between now and the end of the season, but at the same time keeping an eye on next season, you know, having those core players in, because when we come to Classic, you've got to have some big bangers. And in the French league, as I've already just shown you with some of those scores, right, I'm sure it's not new to you guys, but they can bang. Now, what I do with Ateji, I mean, I only paid 15 quid for him, but he's in my D1 lineup this week, which I'll come on to in a minute and I'll show you guys. He can still bang. You got Milou as well. And who else in here from a different team? Bischoff. That's the other one that I need to make a decision on. Now, we know that he's going to Bayern Munich, but he's got some good matchups coming up between now and the end of the season. So I'll probably utilise these guys and then potentially ship them off. Or if their price diminishes so much, then I'll keep them around for next year just as little rotation pieces. Again, I don't mind a Tom Bischoff coming in if he's playing at Bayern Munich and he's playing against a Bochum or someone like that. And Marseille have got a good matchup. I don't mind bringing him in. So it's those pieces that I need to keep, the big ones, the big hitters that can work. Now, what's a shame is you come down here and you can see I made a video specifically about them. You know, Teddy Tuma, Junior Ito, Akumu as well. They've just had such a bad run. You look at that. They've lost their last, they haven't won since November, which is a shame because they're all good Sorare scorers, but their price is so little at the moment. Maybe not Ito, maybe I can get something for him, right? But they're so low at the moment that I'll probably just keep them around. But that is the direction of travel. I want to be moving to a like a three-team stacks, 3-team collections, or half collections with some big punches in there, and that's going to be probably my strategy for next week. Now, talking about like this week, what's going on, as I said, between now and the end of the season, what does it look like for me? Well, this week, this is what it looks like. I've only got the one limited team at the moment, and I hope to only have one limited team moving forward as well, as we've already spoken about. I want that four-man Tottenham stack there with Bruno coming in with a captain's armband to give a bit of differential. But this is what I'm looking at this week. So we've got 2 D1s in Champions in season. We've got Milinkovic-Savic, Kenny Lala against Rems, who haven't scored in 5. So I'm hoping that that's another clean sheet for Kenny Lala. Got Bruno against Leicester, which is an outstanding fixture. Moses Simon coming in there. Hopefully he can nick a decisive, and if he does with his AA that he already gets, then that should be a good matchup for him. And then we've got Tom Bischoff there against St. Pauli. I butcher these names. I know I do. I know I butcher these names. I apologise. But yeah, a good fixture for him as well. Then we've got another D1 team. So really comes in there against PSG. Obviously not ideal, but with the news that I heard about Majeki potentially losing his spot, I didn't want to risk having him in D1 and then being relegated. And then because I already had some money in the bank in my account, in my Sorare account, that I knew that I was going to be picking up Rulli at some point anyway. So I thought, do you know what? Let's just pick him up. He can get some good AA. The last time that he played PSG, he got like 20, 25 AA or something. Let him 3 goals, I know, but it wasn't the end of the world. Tilo should be playing, decent matchup for them. So it would have been Majeki in that stack. And then we got, you know, Marseille, like Guri playing against PSG. Hopefully they have a little bit of a hangover from the midweek. And then we got Teji there wearing the armband. And Teji is a £15 card that I paid for him. And he's wearing the armband in D1. Whether that's a right move, whether that's still going to be the wrong move, we are certainly going to see. And then I just threw these guys together in D2. I don't mind if I get relegated from D2. Obviously, I hope that I don't. But if I do, it does allow me, because I've got a small gallery at the moment, so that rotation piece, you know, I can put in some of the leftovers, or out of the 3 goalkeepers, whoever's got the worst fixture, I can put them in that D3 team and not really worry about them. And then I'm just throwing these guys out for some XP. I don't expect anything. There's going to be DMPs everywhere with that. But again, looking at like what next week or the week after or whatever, depending on what I can pick up in rares and what I can kind of you know, buy in. Maybe with Nice, I bring in Bolka and I sell Savic, and all of a sudden I'm a step closer to that kind of strategy. The next 10 weeks, I want to, obviously, as everybody does, win as much as possible, but also set myself up for next season in Classic, making sure that I've got these pieces and this correlation between, you know, your midfielders and your forwards and your defender and your goalkeeper and stuff. I've already got Klaus, you know, Bolka comes in, stacks up with Klaus. That's a nice little stack. If it's Majeki next year, or if it's Philip Cohn, or if it's somebody else, maybe I have to put my hand in my pocket again and get that out. But then pairing him with Tilo, that's a really good stack. Rulli, I've got to buy Bellardi or Bellardi, however you say his name, but that's a really good stack. So as I said, I'm building pieces at the moment, because for the last 3 months I bought some decent cards at Rare, and I have had some success. I've had like about 100 quid or something like that come in, maybe 150 in terms of money, which has been really, really good, because I wasn't winning anything before that, especially with the limiteds, as I said in the previous video as well. So I just want to be building bit by bit. I'm not going to rush it. That's my strategy. I'll probably do another video about like in-depth strategy for next year towards the end of the season, but that's where I'm at. Good luck this game week. Do you think that I'm making the right move? Drop a comment down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see some more, hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the future.